Okay, bro. In this video, Sam wants to introduce the basics first. Sam is going to explain support and resistance. Don't worry, Sam won't make it complicated. We're using the simplest way. Now, look at the picture here. Resistance looks like the letter A. Support looks like the letter V. So just remember, resistance equals letter A, support equals letter V. Simple, right? Sam will explain it slowly. The most important thing is to understand this basic first. Now, take a look at this example of support and resistance structure. You can see it by yourself, which one is support and which one is resistance. This is just a simulation example because in the live market it will look different. The most important thing is you need to memorize the basics first. Before Sam explains it directly in the market, make sure you remember and understand this first. And now, let's continue. If you want to see clear support and resistance, Sam recommends using a line chart. Why a line chart? Because a line chart only shows the closing price, so there is less noise and the support and resistance structure is easier to see. Now look at the line chart here. Can you see the support and resistance shapes? It's very easy to spot them, just like Sam explained at the beginning. To find support, look for a V shape. To find resistance, look for an A shape. No matter how small the shape is, it is still valid as support or resistance. For example, here, there is a small resistance shaped like an A. Is this valid? Yes, this is valid, because it already forms the letter A. That's how simple it is. Another example here, there is a small support shaped like a V. Is this valid? Yes, it is valid, because it already forms the letter V. And if you see clear and big support and resistance like this, it is definitely valid. Next, Sam will explain to you how to use support and resistance combined with a trend line to identify market direction. The point is, this explanation is very simple, but designed to make sure you fully understand, so please pay close attention. First step, you only need to find two supports or two resistances that are clearly formed. These support and resistance levels will become reference points to see where the market direction is heading. Now look at this example. Assume we have found two support levels. Next step, draw a trend line from the first support to the second support. From these two supports, you should already be able to see the market direction. After that, you simply follow the market direction based on the support and the trend line. For the entry method, keep it simple. Wait for the market to pull back to the trend line area. Then, look for a bullish engulfing candlestick that appears near the trend line. This is the area where you can consider taking an entry opportunity. Relax. Take it easy. This is still just a basic introduction. Sam will explain step by step the secret of how powerful two support or resistance levels can be when they are combined with a trend line. Because from support, resistance, and trend line, you will understand why the market often rejects or bounces from certain areas. Now pay attention. Let Sam give you another example. Here, we have two resistance levels already formed. When we draw a trend line from these two resistances, at first glance, it looks very normal, nothing special. But look at the impact. After this trend line is drawn, many of the following price movements show rejection and cause the market to bounce away. Do you understand what Sam means? From just resistance and a trend line, we can already find potential entry opportunities. So the question is, can we enter directly from the trend line? Yes, we can. But doing that often makes us confused about finding the best entry area. That's why it's better to look for an engulfing candlestick that forms near the trend line and add additional confluences to strengthen the idea that this area is a valid entry zone. So, do you get what Sam means? To make it even clearer, Sam will give one more example. Pay close attention to the impact. from a very small support when it connects with a second support, and then we draw a trend line. Believe it or not, just from this trend line, the market will react in the future, and that reaction is our momentum to take opportunities. Look carefully. From the previous support, and after the trend line is formed, the next market movement shows rejection, and then the market moves down. This proves one thing. With only two supports and a trend line, you can already understand why the market moves up or down. Now imagine this. If we enter at this area, when price touches the trend line, and nearby there is a bearish engulfing candlestick, that already becomes a clear and logical reason why we take a sell entry at that point. For another example, imagine you draw a trend line from two resistance levels. This trend line will have a strong impact on future market movements and will become key areas where you can look for trading opportunities. Pay close attention. When price touches the trend line drawn from already formed resistances, the market often reacts and then bounces away. This is where your trading momentum appears. That is why a trend line built from resistance should never be underestimated. This is the main function of having two formed support or resistance levels combined with a trend line. They provide a strong reason why the market, at some point, will react at those areas. Besides being a tool to identify the trend, support, resistance, and trend line also act as a confluence to strengthen our entry zones. That is why Sam sometimes uses a trend line not only as a direction guide, but also as an entry zone. The most important rule is this: there must be at least two formed supports or resistances. Without them, the trend line has no strong significance. Basically, you can actually draw many trend lines from different support and resistance levels. All of these can form important patterns to help identify key areas in the market. However, drawing too many trend lines can easily make your analysis confusing. Sam's suggestion is simple. Focus on the nearest support and resistance levels and use them as a trend line confluence. As long as the pattern makes sense during your market analysis and execution, that is already enough. Trust this. When you understand how to draw trend lines properly, multiple time frame analysis, and engulfing candlesticks, you will be able to easily spot key areas that are suitable to be used as entry zones. Now let Sam walk you through a simulation on how to identify market trends using a trend line. For example, on the H4 time frame, we already have two supports formed. Then we draw a trend line from those supports. Our initial assumption is that the market will react or reject at this trend line area. From a market structure perspective, this makes sense. However, we should never enter blindly. That's why we need additional supporting factors to confirm that this trend line area is valid for an entry. The next step is to look to the side and find an engulfing candlestick. Now look here. There is a bullish engulfing. When this appears, our assumption becomes stronger because we now have a buy trend line combined with an engulfing pattern. Next, we check again on the H4 time frame to see if there is any additional confluence. Here, we can see a resistance level, and we can draw another trend line. This trend line still makes sense because it aligns with the engulfing buy area. But since this is the H4 time frame, our entry zone is too wide. That's why we move down to the H1 time frame. On H1, we check again for a bullish engulfing. And here we can see another engulfing, so we can mark this area. We can then look for more confluence. Here we find two resistance levels, draw another trend line, and notice that the entry zone becomes smaller and more precise. If we want even more precision, we can move down again to M30 to look for engulfing patterns or trend line confluence. On M30, we can see two more resistances, which can be used as additional confluence. The lower the time frame, the more precise the entry zone becomes. From all these confluences, we now have clear reasons to enter a trade. 1. Multiple time frames from H4 to M30 all support a buy direction. 2. There is a bullish engulfing pattern. 3. Trendline confluence creates a highly precise entry zone. Now for the entry execution. Simply wait for the market reaction at the engulfing and trendline area. Once a rejection candle appears, you can consider entering the trade. For the stop loss, place it below the rejection candle. As for the risk size, it depends on your own risk management, because you are the trader and you are the one responsible for the risk. Do you understand up to this point, bro?
All right, bro. Next, I'll explain how I identify entries using engulfing. Basically, the method is the same as using a trend line, because in the end, everything will still lead to trendline confluence. Here's the example. Assume a bullish engulfing appears on the H4 time frame. The next step is simple. We just look for a trendline confluence to strengthen the idea that this bullish engulfing is a good entry zone. After that, we move down to the H1 time frame and look for another engulfing pattern. Here we can see another bullish engulfing. Now we check, is there any logical confluence? Yes, there is. In this area, there are already 3 resistance levels formed. We simply draw a trend line. The result makes sense because the trend line aligns with the engulfing area. Next, we move down to M30 to get a more precise entry zone. On M30, we can see another engulfing. Also notice there is a support confluence here. If we draw a trend line, the result looks like this. The question is, does this make sense? The answer is no. Why? Because the trend line moves outside the engulfing area, so we should not rush. Now let's check M15. On M15, we can see a resistance. Then we draw a trend line. Does it make sense now? Yes, it does, because the trend line fits inside the engulfing area. Finally, the entry method. Wait for the candle reaction at the engulfing and trendline area. Once a rejection candle appears, only then should we take the entry. For the stop loss, place it below the rejection candle. Let Sam give you another example of how to analyze the market when we find a bearish engulfing. When a bearish engulfing appears, our main focus is to look for sell opportunities. That's why a higher time frame is very important to identify the market direction. For example, on the H4 time frame, a bearish engulfing has already formed. Once the direction is clear, the next step is to find the entry area. The process is the same. We step down the time frames gradually, from H4 to H1, from H1 to M30, and from M30 to M15. Important note, if you only find confluence on H1 and M30, that is totally fine, as long as the confluence is clear and logical. Likewise, if you only find confluence on M15, that is also acceptable. Now back to the example. After getting a bearish engulfing direction on H4, we move down to H1. On H1, we can see another bearish engulfing. Next, we check the confluence on H1. Here, we have 2 support levels, and we can draw a trend line like this. After that, we look for confluence on M30. On M30, there is another bearish engulfing. This means the entry zone becomes smaller and the sell direction becomes stronger. We can add more confluence on M30 to strengthen the entry area. Here, we find 2 more supports, and we draw another trend line. If we want even more precision, we can move down to M15. On M15, there is also a bearish engulfing. We can add more confluence to increase our confidence for entry. You can see now, the key entry area becomes much clearer. Finally, wait for a rejection candle, and only then take the sell entry. Bro, a lot of people are still asking about engulfing. Now Sam will explain the different forms of engulfing, both bullish engulfing and bearish engulfing, and also why it is called engulfing. Please keep in mind, this explanation is based on Sam's own understanding and experience, and it has proven to work for Sam. Sam will also explain how to mark engulfing the Sam way. All right, now let's look at this chart image. Pay close attention. Here we have one bearish candle. After that, a bullish candle appears. The question is this already valid to be called an engulfing? The answer is not yet. Why? Because this bullish candle has not broken out the high of the bearish candle's wick next to it. Now look at the next process. A second bullish candle appears, and this candle successfully breaks the bearish wick and closes above it. This is when it becomes valid to be called a bullish engulfing. Why? Because two bullish candles have successfully engulfed one bearish candle. So, we mark the engulfing area starting from the bearish candle. Why from the bearish candle? Because from this area buyers appear, showing that the market is interested in moving up. Do you understand up to this point? This is an example of a valid bearish engulfing. Why is it valid? Because one bearish candle successfully breaks and closes below the previous bullish candle. So, we mark the bearish engulfing area from the previous bullish candle. Why from the bullish candle? Because from this area, sellers appear, indicating that the market has potential to move downward. Simple, right? Take another look, bro. Here we have one bearish candle that looks like it is covered by three bullish candles. The question is, does this already qualify as a bullish engulfing? The answer is not valid yet. Why is it not valid? Look closely. The third bullish candle has not broken out the high of the bearish candle's wick. That's why Sam says this is not yet a valid bullish engulfing. Now, pay attention to what happens next. Here, a small bearish candle appears, commonly called a doji. After that, this doji is broken out by two bullish candles. This is where a valid bullish engulfing is formed. Why is it valid? Because one bearish candle is successfully broken by two bullish candles. Nice, right? Bro, out there you'll find many different definitions and ways to identify engulfing patterns, but for Sam, this is enough. The goal is to stay on one clear perspective, avoid too many confusing terms, and keep trading simple. Too many patterns will only make you overthink, bro. What really matters is the main mission: profit. Sam will show you several valid engulfing patterns, and you can study and practice them. Hopefully you guys can learn a lot from this, bro. I hope the next video will help you even more to improve your trading knowledge and understanding. Keep learning, stay disciplined, and never stop evaluating your trades. See you in the next video. See you, bro.